more presence of Black comic convention, but not just about comics, but just as art as a whole. I feel that the city needs to focus on the art community. The city is getting gentrified. I want to make sure my own people are highlighted, not washed out. I want to make sure that our culture is highlighted for everybody, not just my own people. So I want to have more exposure for that.
I got involved with MECCAcon honestly because Crown, the coordinator, Righteous Sister, and she's providing a platform for indie and larger artists. So, you know, as an indie artist, it's only beneficial for me, and you know, it's very rare in this field, in this business, where you get to do business in exchange with righteous people. So that's a plus and a bonus.
I know Maia. I've known her for about maybe 5 years, and she's seen my artwork, and I found out about this on her Facebook page and through her directly. This is my first attempt at superheroes. I tell you, I like this idea. This is my original artwork, and I hope she will let me try this in future years.
I have a comic book, and then I also have t-shirts and illustrations of zombies and various forms of decay. And some of the posters and prints are straight from the issues of my comic books. And so some of the images you see in the posters, the illustrations are from the comic book. The general public typically doesn't have a chance to meet the creators, doesn't have a chance to meet the writers or artists. And so this is a great one-on-one, face-to-face you know, opportunity for the general public to come in, talk to us, find out what happens, you know, in the making of the art, in the making of the books, and actually talk to us and find out who we are and why we do what we do.
My message in my art is basically positive vibes about who you are as a culture and as your people. A lot of my colors is red, black, green, and yellow. I do a lot of power fists, and to me it's protest art. So it's something that you should feel when you see it. It's not just art just for the sake of, you know, this is a nice picture, but it tells a story, you know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, it's something that's deeper than what you see on the surface.
And I myself, I like to do a little bit of, when I do my abstracts, like this one, I like to do subliminal type messages. Like I like to do reaction art, and like him, like I like to tell a story. I like to be like pro positivity and make people think. So you see my abstracts, and like some of them you have hidden stuff like spider webs. That's some Masonic stuff. The black and gold is some alpha. I got some other ones here, you know, different stuff. I just like people to think abstractly about stuff they see all the time.
We focus on the intersection of culture and basically how communities come together. So for example, this book here is about Black folks who moved to Taiwan, so African Americans, West Africans, Caribbean folks. So basically we do a lot of things like that, is again how people come together and create kind of like a new culture and culture change.
I'm a comics writer, so my new project out is called Dead by Wednesday. It's like a space bounty hunter action type comic. And then I'm also representing some projects that I've edited, written by my husband, Sam. Detroit's really amazing for like how it supports like, you know, independent artists of like all stripes, you know, visual arts, film, music. And conventions like this basically build a foundation where those people can get out, get seen, get new fans and readers, and especially for comic creators of color and women, visibility can be tough. It's a really, you know, it's a very white male industry. So coming together at something like MECCAcon is kind of you see people like you, and you feel supported by people like you, and that's, you know, that's invaluable.
Crown reached out to me and she wanted to do a table swap. So we both support each other's missions and trying to support each other as much as possible.
I like to spread the message of diversity. A lot of my characters come from different backgrounds, different worlds. This one and other dimensions as well. At the heart of it is basically being true to yourself and overcoming obstacles. And basically, at the end of the day, the good guys win.
Well, I have a little bit of everything. I mean, mostly the art back here is just fan art, you know, superheroes, whatever. here. And this right here is actually a story that my buddy is writing that I'm illustrating. So I did the art for the mechs, or the giant robots and mechs and stuff.
This is called Aurora. She's my mascot. She's a cyborg mommy. This is called Stop the Violence. It teaches people to stop violence in the community. This is called Honeybee. She's a half human, half bee. And this is called Temptation. It teaches people to stop smoking. And right here are my comic works. This is called Cryptid Human. It's basically a good versus evil comic for cryptids like Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster. And this here is called Now Lay Me Down to Sleep. You see her right here sleeping, but then she finds herself prematurely in the coffin. So this is basically Edgar Allan Poe inspired.
We have Oh It Rain, and Unsung Dark, which are our two flagship books. Oh It Rain is about a black man from the future who comes to the present day bearing news. And we have a mystery story about a group of teenagers who are inducted into a secret society at Oxford University, and they're on a mystery type adventure. Then we have our frameworks anthology, where we feature two stories, sci-fi, superheroes, etc.
I'm a relatively new comic artist. I just did my first comic last year. It was a historical piece about the role of women in a coal miners' strike in Canada in 1935. The next comic I did was a comic version of what is called in Canada the Inuit dog slaughter. It was a case when the police murdered hundreds, if not thousands, of Indigenous people's dogs. It's a story that's not as well known as it should be. And then recently, just as a personal piece, I did a comic about my childhood hero, Eugenie Clark. She was a marine biologist of Japanese and American descent. She was working in marine biology at a time when there were very few women and even fewer people of color, and she confronted racism and sexism and still went on to pioneer 50 years of research about sharks.
I'm here with 5 Elements, 5E Gallery, which is a local venue, and 5 Elements, DJ Sakari, Mud and Thyme, they are hip hop artists, 5 Elements, and they've been in the hip hop industry here in Detroit for well over 20 years. I'm sure you all aware of Dilla and Proof and Hip Hop Shop. Those guys actually worked at Hip Hop Shop. So they have a new album, Global Warming 2022. Their music is metaphysically based, a lot of history, a lot of more science. Actually, the songs are actually laced over sound frequencies, produced by Black Beethoven here in Detroit. So we're here vending with the items. We actually have a new album coming out soon. It's the Starfleet Official, that's the movement. There's DJ Lahedi, she does the World Women of Hip Hop. And then we have Common Breath Media, who is our media outlet. He does Detroit Intergalactic. We got DJ Sakari, he does the high frequency radio here. So we just have a whole movement, just all about love and peace and wealth and health and spirit and just teaching, reaching the youth, reaching people. And this is our first year vending. When we got wind of MECCAcon, we knew immediately what we needed to do, just because of the movement, just because of the spirit, just because of what it represents. Actually being African American artists, bringing the artistry here and showcasing it.
Well, I'm not a creator per se. I'm more like a retailer. My website is called Peep Game Comics. It's a digital comics platform where I sell titles by African American comic book creators. I got involved with MECCAcon because her convention speaks directly to the audience that I'm trying to reach, and that's the main reason. And also, I think it's important that not only myself but other creators support her in the sense that I think it's important that a lot of us creators reach out to, you know, conventions like this who are trying to speak directly to their audience.
Detroit is becoming kind of like a little small epicenter of really original, one-of-a-kind artists. Some of the best artists in the world are from Detroit. So anything new like this, or especially innovative and different, you know, I get a lot, especially with our pieces, we get a lot of people saying that I've never seen nothing like this before. So anytime it's something original, Detroit is always going to be a magnet to that. Always.
This book is called Black Comics, Politics of Race and Representation, and it specifically focuses on the contributions of Black comic artists, and it traces back to the first published comic art by a Black artist up until present day. It also looks at race and gender representation within Black comic art.
I think that conventions like this, specifically in cities populated mostly by people of color, specifically Black people, are very, very important because it shows the complexity, the diversity within our culture. You know, everyone isn't into comics, just like everybody isn't into hip hop. You know, there are some people who are Black who are into rock. You know, I personally like anime. You know, there is so much complexity, so much diversity within the African American community that organizations and events like this are putting that on display.
I hope to spread the positivity of the city of Detroit and activities that are going on. A lot of people say they don't know what's going on in Detroit, there's nothing going on, and there's a lot of events going on in the city of Detroit, whether it's art-based, music-based, dance-based, whatever. So it's important for our children also to know that art can help out a lot.